When most people think about America's East Coast, they picture iconic skylines, crowded beaches, historic cities, and famous landmarks. They think of New York's towering skyscrapers, the monuments of Washington, D.C., the beaches of Florida, or the rocky shores of Maine. But beneath that familiar image lies a side of the East Coast that almost nobody talks about. Scattered from Maine to Florida are abandoned military bunkers hidden in forests, mysterious islands where the public isn't allowed to go, underwater shipwrecks stretching for hundreds of miles, forgotten ghost towns slowly being swallowed by nature, ancient swamps that remain largely unexplored, and strange geological formations that continue to puzzle scientists. Some of these places are completely natural, others were created by humans and then mysteriously abandoned. Many are so isolated that millions of people drive past them every year without realizing what lies just a few miles away. Today, we're uncovering the East Coast's best-kept secrets, the places history quietly forgot and nature slowly reclaimed. Let's begin. The East Coast is often described as the birthplace of America. It's where the first colonies were established, where revolutions were fought, and where some of the nation's biggest cities continue to thrive. Because of its long history, people often assume there are no mysteries left to discover here. But that's far from the truth. Hidden between bustling highways, dense forests, winding rivers, and remote coastlines are places that seem frozen in time. Some were once thriving communities before disappearing almost overnight. Others were military installations so secret that even locals knew very little about them. Offshore, thousands of shipwrecks rest silently on the ocean floor, earning parts of the Atlantic a reputation as one of the most dangerous coastlines in the world. In today's video, we're exploring some of the East Coast's most fascinating hidden places, locations that reveal a side of America few people ever get to see. Let's head north and begin our journey. 1. The ghost forests beneath the Atlantic coast. Along the coastlines of North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and parts of New Jersey are forests that shouldn't exist. During extremely low tides, or after powerful hurricanes, people occasionally discover ancient tree stumps emerging from the sand. These aren't recent trees. Many are more than 2,000 years old. They once stood in thriving coastal forests before rising sea levels slowly buried them beneath the ocean. Today, shifting sand occasionally exposes these prehistoric landscapes once again, giving scientists rare opportunities to study ancient climates and changing coastlines. For a brief moment, visitors can literally walk through the remains of a forgotten forest before the tides hide it once more. 2. The Graveyard of the Atlantic. Off North Carolina's Outer Banks lies one of the world's largest underwater cemeteries. More than 2,000 known shipwrecks rest beneath these waters. For centuries, shifting sandbars, violent storms, dense fog, and powerful currents destroyed ships from nearly every era of maritime history. Spanish treasure ships, Civil War ironclads, German submarines, World War II cargo vessels. Many remain perfectly preserved beneath the cold Atlantic waters, attracting divers from around the globe. Some wrecks have even become thriving artificial reefs filled with sharks, sea turtles, and colorful marine life. 3. America's forgotten military bunkers. Throughout the Cold War, the East Coast became one of America's most heavily defended regions. Hundreds of radar stations, missile bases, coastal artillery forts, and underground bunkers were built to defend against potential attacks. Many were abandoned decades ago. Today, some sit quietly hidden inside forests, while others overlook beaches where tourists have no idea they're standing beside former military installations. Nature has slowly reclaimed these concrete giants, covering walls with vines and allowing wildlife to move in. 4. The swamps that still feel untouched. The Great Dismal Swamp, stretching across Virginia and North Carolina, is one of America's oldest wilderness areas. Despite being located near major cities, much of the swamp remains remarkably isolated. Dense vegetation, blackwater canals, towering cypress trees, and thick fog create an atmosphere unlike anywhere else on the East Coast. The swamp also carries centuries of history. Enslaved people once escaped here, forming hidden communities deep within the wetlands where they could live beyond the reach of colonial authorities. Today, archaeologists continue discovering evidence of those forgotten settlements. 5. islands you can't visit. The East Coast contains dozens of islands closed to the public. Some protect endangered wildlife, others hold military facilities. Several were once thriving communities before storms or economic decline forced residents to leave forever. One island contains abandoned hospitals. Another was used for biological research. Others simply remain too dangerous because of erosion or unstable buildings. Their empty homes continue slowly collapsing into the sea. 6. America's hidden underground rivers. While the Appalachian Mountains dominate the East Coast skyline, another world exists beneath them. Thousands of caves stretch underground through Kentucky, Virginia, Tennessee, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. Hidden rivers flow silently through enormous chambers that few people ever see. Some cave systems remain only partially explored because flooding, narrow passages, and underground lakes block further progress. Scientists estimate that many miles remain undiscovered. 7. The Appalachian Mystery. The Appalachian Mountains are among the oldest mountain ranges on Earth. In fact, they once rivaled the Himalayas in height hundreds of millions of years ago. Today, erosion has worn them down into rolling ridges, but their incredible age has created unique ecosystems found nowhere else. Dense forests, isolated valleys, and rugged terrain have allowed hundreds of plant and animal species to evolve independently. Many creatures living here exist nowhere else on Earth. 8. Entire towns swallowed by nature. Throughout the East Coast, dozens of communities disappeared after industries collapsed. Mining towns, logging camps, fishing villages, railroad settlements. When jobs disappeared, residents simply packed up and left. Today, forests grow through abandoned streets. Churches collapse into empty fields. Schools slowly decay behind thick vines. Some ghost towns are so remote that only satellite imagery reveals they ever existed. 9. The Atlantic's powerful currents. The Atlantic Ocean appears calm on many summer days. But beneath the surface flows one of Earth's most powerful ocean currents, the Gulf Stream. This enormous river of warm water moves millions of tons of water every second. It influences weather across North America and Europe while creating dangerous conditions for ships and small boats. Combined with hurricanes, nor'easters, and rapidly changing weather, these currents have shaped East Coast history for centuries. 10. Ancient forests older than America. Long before the first European settlers arrived, vast forests covered much of the East Coast. A few remarkable examples still survive. Old-growth forests in the Appalachian region contain trees more than 400 years old. Some began growing before the Pilgrims reached North America. Walking through these forests feels like stepping into another century, where towering hemlocks, ancient oaks, and giant tulip trees have witnessed hundreds of years of history. 11. Hidden coastal marshes. Beyond the famous beaches lies another world. Salt marshes stretch for thousands of miles along the Atlantic coast. Although they appear ordinary from above, they're among the planet's most productive ecosystems. They filter pollution, protect communities from storms, and provide habitat for countless birds, fish, and shellfish. Without them, many coastal cities would face far greater damage during hurricanes. 12. Shipwrecks still being discovered. Even with modern sonar technology, researchers continue finding previously unknown shipwrecks. Storms constantly shift sand across the Atlantic seafloor. Sometimes they uncover vessels that have remained hidden for centuries. Each discovery provides archaeologists with valuable clues about trade, exploration, and warfare throughout American history. Some wrecks still contain everyday objects left exactly where they were when the ships sank. 13. Secret wildlife refuges. The East Coast isn't just home to people. It's also one of North America's most important migration corridors. Millions of birds travel this route every year. Sea turtles return to the same beaches where they hatched decades earlier. Whales migrate thousands of miles along the coastline. Protected wildlife refuges quietly preserve these natural movements while remaining largely unknown to the general public. 14. Coastal erosion is rewriting the map. One of the biggest secrets hiding in plain sight is that the East Coast itself is constantly changing. Entire beaches disappear after powerful storms. Barrier islands shift, cliffs collapse, roads are relocated, homes are abandoned. In some areas, the coastline has moved hundreds of feet over the past century. The map people recognize today may look very different, only decades from now. 15. The stories still waiting underground. Perhaps the greatest mystery isn't any single location, it's how much remains undiscovered. Archaeologists continue finding forgotten settlements beneath forests. Marine scientists discover new shipwrecks every year. Geologists map previously unknown cave passages. Historians uncover military installations once hidden under strict secrecy. Even after centuries of exploration, the East Coast continues revealing surprises to those willing to look beyond the obvious. When people think about America's East Coast, they usually picture famous skylines, tourist attractions, and busy cities. But as we've seen today, there's another East Coast hiding just beyond the crowds. A coastline filled with ancient ghost forests buried beneath the ocean. Mountains hiding enormous underground cave systems. Swamps preserving forgotten chapters of American history. Abandoned military bunkers reclaimed by nature. Thousands of shipwrecks resting silently beneath Atlantic waves. And landscapes that continue changing before our eyes. The greatest thing about these hidden places isn't that they're impossible to find. It's that most people simply never think to look. So next time you visit the East Coast, remember that the most fascinating stories may not be on the postcards or travel brochures. They could be hidden beneath your feet, beneath the waves, or just beyond the next trail into the forest. Which of these hidden places surprised you the most? Is there another East Coast mystery you think deserves to be featured? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into America's hidden side, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more videos exploring the world's most fascinating places, forgotten history, and unbelievable geography. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next adventure.